The construction blankets have been removed, as well as the tarp. I use a leaf blower to dry them all out. I lay them out flat. I blow them out with a leaf blower and a broom if I have to get some dirt off of there in water. Let them dry out for a while. But I keep a couple of the construction blankets close by just in case we have a frost. This is Massachusetts. We're not in Georgia. We're not in New Jersey. It can get cold here over the next couple of weeks, and if it does, I'll cover the fig trees with the construction blankets to protect them from a light frost. The fig trees look pretty good. Hope you can see this okay, but the buds, they're green right there. So if the stems are brownish green, they're definitely alive. If they're brownish gray, and I don't see any of them, but if they tend to be brownish gray, they might be dead. But I don't do any pruning until May 31st, Memorial Day, when is the official last day of potential frost in Massachusetts. I don't do any pruning until then. And I keep it tied down. As I said before, I'm not gonna release these for a couple of weeks, just in case there's a frost, and then I can easily cover them. So to the garden, I've already tilled the soil. I've turned all of the winter rye over in the direction that the camera is facing in now, and I'm going to spread out this manure, let it dry out for a couple of days, and then I'll turn the soil in the opposite direction and get the garden ready for spring and summer planting. But you know, I must say, all of this seems somewhat trivial to me, especially with this COVID-19. I'm totally privileged. I can stay home. I can follow what I learned from my dad, who was a prisoner of war for 5 years. He taught me you got to keep busy, keep occupied during turbulent times, difficult times, and that's what I'm doing. Winemaking, taking care of fig trees, gardening. I still have to work, but I can teach online. How privileged is that? Going to be a little chilly tonight. So, one construction blanket draped over the middle, and then the tarp over the whole thing should be enough to protect us. It's also going to be pretty windy, and the temperature is supposed to go down to about 29. Buonanotte. Massachusetts. Good old Massachusetts. If you don't like the weather, well, just wait 5 minutes, and it'll probably change. So the forecast I spoke about a couple of days ago said nothing about the snow that we got last night, and neither did it say anything about the lower temperatures we've had the last few nights. It's gone down into the lower 30s, and with the wind chill factor into the high 20s. But fortunately, we're prepared, and we'll be able to uncover this in a couple of days. Because I love that dirty water. Oh, Boston, you're my home. It's April 29th, and it's time to untie the fig trees. First of all, because of the temperatures, I'm pretty sure it's not going to freeze in the next few nights. And more importantly, I think, than that, are the buds. When it starts getting warm like this, the buds start to develop. And when you untie it, you don't want to damage any of them. I'm going to leave one stake in over here. I'll save it until next year when I need it. I took the stake on this end out because I have 3 little baby fig trees growing here, and I've staked them here, just put on a tomato stake so I know where they are because they're so small. I have 3 of them, and I think one of them is probably not going to make it. But I need one for the other end over here because I took that one out. It didn't give any fruit for 3 years in a row, so gone. We have had a string of really hot days. It's the end of July, and the fig tree and the figs love it. Questi si chiamano fullaki al dialetto mio. Non so esattamente come si chiamano all'italiano di ogni giorno. They are going to ripen in the next couple of weeks, and then the little ones will ripen more like in October. Many of the figs are hidden by the leaves, and that's good because the birds can't find them. Unlike the other fig tree in a different video we looked at, the birds can find them and eat them, so I have to net them. This tree I have not had to net. I keep a pail with 1/3 manure and 2/3 water, and I give it a pitcher full of that water to each fig tree at least once a week. I keep some lime pellets in that tray, and I'll put a clump next to each tree so the trees get calcium for the rest of the growing season. And I have a little bit of ash here from the fireplace and barbecue, so just in case there's some insects that I don't want on the tree, I'll scare them away with those ashes. I left some winter rye. Gonna collect the seed little by little as they mature, just in case I can't find seed in September or October when I like to plant them. So this tree, I explained before, is from Italy, and this one over here is from the United States, I think. It has a red fig, and that won't ripen until October as well. And over there we have a sad sight. Yeah, only 1 jar of tomatoes left from the garden. So hopefully these tomatoes will ripen. I like to use Early Girl. All my tomato plants are Early Girl variety, and they make, in my opinion, the best tomato sauce. I know a lot of people have success with fig trees in pots, but there's nothing like a fig tree in the ground. Gets nice and big, full of leaves. It's really quite the sight. And it smells really, really good. May the heat continue. 98 degrees in the shade.